I've been speaking to Tim Bonner, Chief Executive of the Countryside Alliance, and I first asked for his reaction to this week's Channel 4 report.
Well, this is obviously unacceptable. This is not the sort of thing that the vast majority of people who hunt think represents them in any way, and is deeply damaging for hunting and for everyone connected to it.
Yeah, it's indefensible, really, isn't it? Why is that kind of thing still happening?
I think there's a couple of reasons. It's no excuse, but there is that lingering issue over the legitimacy of the Hunting Act and the bitter political battle of 18 years ago now, which has made...
Yes, but I mean, that doesn't give anybody any excuses for doing that, for breaking the law, does it?
No, exactly. That's what I said. It gives no one any excuses. But that has made the post-hunting ban scenario a very difficult one to regulate, I think. But having said that, they're undoubtedly, and the Alliance has been very clear about this for a very long time, there needs to be a fundamental rethink about standards within hunting and most crucially about the perception that the public, politicians and the police have of hunting activity. And hunting has always been an issue apart, and it will always face more scrutiny, and it will always face potential political restrictions. So it's not just a question of doing things okay, it's about doing things better than anyone else because of the situation that hunting finds itself in. At the moment, where we're at a sort of political crossroads, where there's the potential of a change of government in the near future, and the Labour Party had a manifesto commitment to go back to the hunting issue. This is a moment where hunting has to look very hard at itself and to take some steps which are probably quite difficult, but it needs to do that to protect the future of the sport.
Why is it difficult to ensure that people who are involved in hunting adhere to the law?
Well, it shouldn't be. I agree with you entirely. But yeah, like in every activity, the necessity is to look at yourself hard, to scrutinise yourself and make sure that the idea that, there's a few bad apples or that sort of thing is just not acceptable. And yes, we can say that there are hundreds of hunts, there are tens of thousands of hunting days every year. The vast majority of them are absolutely blameless. But that doesn't mean that the sort of incidents we've seen over the last few weeks don't impact on everybody who hunts.
You wrote about the negative impact that the Avon Vale hunt video had in a recent blog of yours, and how it gave ammunition to those opposed to hunting. And you also talked about extremely unhelpful news stories. Surely it's a good thing they're being held to account. And why is that unhelpful?
No, that's not unhelpful, and that's definitely not what I said.
Well, I've got the piece of paper in front of me. I've got the blog in front of me.
But what's unhelpful, massively unhelpful, is that it happens in the first place. Yeah, what is unhelpful is that people provide the reason for that news story to be written, not that the news story itself is written. Hunts should be operating in a way where this sort of thing doesn't happen, and therefore there isn't anything on the news in the evening, and there isn't anything in a newspaper.
How will hunting be able to continue if the Labour Party does indeed end trail hunting, which is what it said it's going to do if it gets into power?
I think what would be unhelpful for hunts, and it could be very restrictive. But if they are able to show that they're operating properly and legally, there is no reason at all that they shouldn't continue. And I wouldn't expect any government to outlaw perfectly legitimate, proper recreational activity in the countryside.
Tim Bonner, Chief Executive of the Countryside Alliance, and that.